Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast, where we experience and explore everything that makes small towns great. I'm your host, Abby, and today we are hanging out with a new friend of mine. I just met Wayne digitally through this call. He is the owner-operator of Lake Wobegon Outfitters. They followed me on Instagram, and I'm like, what is this? This looks so cool. Everyone needs to know about this. So we had Wayne share his story for Lake Wobegon Outfitters this week. Their official opening date is April 20th, 2024. So the fun is going to get started here in Central Minnesota very quickly. I hope you enjoy our time hanging out with Wayne, learning all about Lake Wobegon Outfitters. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Small Town Tourist Podcast, where we experience and explore things that make small towns great. Today with me, I have Wayne from Lake Wobegon Outfitters, which is a service business. Do you have like an official title for what it is?
Outfitters.
So you guys followed me on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I need to know more information. So Wayne, give me a little bit of background. What are you guys all about?
Well, it started quite a while ago, actually. In 2019, in January, in the depths of winter, I was just kind of messing around on Fiverr and came up with the concept for Lake Wobegon Outfitters, just imagining, what that would look like. And then I just kind of just fleshed it out from there, what would I have? And my original tagline was bikes, boats, and boards. And then I thought, just imagine where it would go and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, and you guys have kind of a lot going on with this. So along the lines of the bikes and boards, what do you guys all provide for people?
Right now, it's e-bikes, use Velotric e-bikes, and Paddle North Portager inflatable paddle boards.
Those are two things that, one, are expensive for people to own, two, are hard for people to store and like transport and get to where they want to have fun with them. So it's really cool that you guys are offering these and offering the access to people for these. How did you find, I've heard of Paddle North. I haven't heard of that brand of e-bike. How did you kind of get in contact with those?
Yeah, I was just doing internet searches, and Velotric is actually fairly new in the business. I believe that the founder was involved with a bike share, like an urban bike share program, and then kind of changed gears and went into the e-bike side of things more. And Paddle North, I just wanted to try to find somebody that was local, and I really liked their brand and their story and what they're all about. So those are the two that I decided to go with.
I know Paddle North makes a quality product. As we're recording this, I'm actually hanging out at our lake lot today, and our lake neighbors have one of those inflatable Paddle North rafts, and they have a couple of their paddle boards too. And man, those things are great.
Yeah, I considering doing that in the future as well. The whole line that Paddle North has, I think there would be a place for it on the rental side.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of dreamed this idea up. What were like the next steps to make it happen? You reach out to these brands and say, hey, I want to do this. Can you help me? Or
yeah, that's basically about it. And in addition to using Velotric, I will be the dealer for the St. Cloud area for Velotric. So that will be another area that I'm going to be getting into, doing the retail sales of their whole line, which they got like 6 bikes right now. They've got a new one coming in this year that's going to replace the Discover One. A lot of new upgrades, new features on it. And that'll be my next step, to try to find a retail location to start offering that as well.
oh, that's really cool. That's something that's so desperately needed because the St. Cloud area, like your name says, has the Lake Wobegon Trail and so many other trails that are so bike friendly. Like that's going to be an awesome addition.
Right.
So yeah, for everyone who doesn't know like what exactly makes an electric bike work, how would you explain that to them?
Wow, that's a big one. Well, it operates just like a regular bike, except that you've got a battery, a lithium-ion battery that for Velotric is built into the frame of the down tube. And this particular bike has a hub drive, which is the rear wheel is where the motor is. Other bikes might have what they call a mid drive, and that's a motor that's in where the cranks are. And this is a class 2 bike. They've got 3 classes, but this is a class 2. It has a throttle that you can actually activate, just like a motorcycle or something, just a thumb throttle. So if you don't want to pedal at all, you can just use the throttle. But if you're going to use the assist mode, which is there are 5 assist modes for the bike, that'll get you to your top speed of 20 miles per hour. As long as you're turning the pedals, it's going to help you move along.
20 miles an hour. That is zipping right down.
Yeah, and that's the max you can do on the trail. That they want anybody going faster than that. And there are bikes you can go up to 28. The Discover 2 will be up to 28 miles per hour.
That's just crazy to me. So like growing up, I had a normal bike. And then when I was 15, I could get like a scooter endorsement. So I drove a scooter around, and every time I would get it up to like 20 miles an hour, I'm like, man, I am going really fast. I feel like I need to calm down.
Right.
Oh, that is so great that you're like giving opportunity for people to like test these out. Cause like it is a pretty big investment. So being able to like try something before you buy it in a rental sense, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing with the e-bikes, and, I'm a cyclist also, and I used to live in the St. Joe area, and I bike the trail regularly. And when you got 1-2 miles out of town, there's nobody on the trail. You just can't do the distances. The Wobegon Trail is 65 miles long, and who's got the ability to do that length? But with the e-bike, you can do 40 miles if you want. So that's right. I like to see more people get on the trail.
Yeah, a little more exploration than like the little chunk of trail that they might be used to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that trail, so I'm originally from Long Prairie. I live in the St. Cloud area now. And when I first moved down there, me and my friend decided we're going to rollerblade the Wobegon Trail. And we made it like 3 miles, and we're like, we are never doing this again. Our legs are jello.
Yeah. And blisters too, maybe.
Yeah, it was brutal, but it's such a cool thing to explore. And like, we wanted to keep going further, but we're like, we still got to go back and get to our car.
Right.
So how do people rent your products? Like if they're hearing about this now and they're going, okay, I want to make plans to do that this summer. What's the process look like?
Real easy. Find us online, LakeWobegonOutfitters.com. And you can book online through Bookable, is a third-party service I'm using, and you just choose your date, choose how long you want to go, choose how many bikes or boards you want to have, and you're all set. And then you would find us at the Avon Trailhead. I'm a mobile operation right now, so if you go to the east side of the trailhead parking area by the tower, that's where I'm going to be located.
Okay, cool. That's so nice. It's such a great location for meetups too. Like just easy to get to, easy to park at and pick up.
Right off the interstate. Things to do in town too. Go to the lake, especially Middle Spunk Lake. They have the public beach area that you could use, and then lots of options from there. You can go east to St. Joseph, west to Albany, and then north from Albany to Holdingford, and lots of things to see in each of those towns.
That's really cool. Do you have any safety waivers or anything, or is it just kind of a paddle and bike at your own risk?
No, I do. It's part of the checkout process.
Okay.
You have to agree to the terms and conditions, the cancellation policy, and those sorts of things. It's basically boilerplate, legal stuff.
Yeah.
But, it's part of the process for checking out.
Very cool. And like, can you like borrow it for a week, or is it limited to a day?
Yeah, see, the e-bikes, because they're heavier, you have to have a special bike rack if you're going to carry it on your car. So at this time, I'm only going to allow out and back on the e-bike. So you'd have to bring it back, at the end of your time period. The paddle boards being inflatable, you can take those wherever you want, throw them in your trunk, back of your car. You can take those for the weekend or week, whatever you want.
That's awesome. So the paddle boards, they need to be inflated. Do you got to worry about like bringing an air compressor with you?
No, it's all included in the kit.
Okay.
It comes in a handy carrying case, and it's a manual pump that is included. We'll be looking at having electric pumps that you could use in your car, but the pump is a dual stage pump. You can get it inflated in about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and it's a good warm up too before you go out.
Very true. Yeah, get your body all loosey-goosey ready to do some paddling.
Right, exactly.
That's really exciting. So are you kind of a one-man show, or do you got some people helping you out this summer? Because once word gets out, you're going to be busy. Doing these kinds of things, I may be over-promoting myself. I'm starting small. I've only got 6 bikes and six
6 boards right now, and I can quickly ramp that up if there's enough interest. But for now, it's just me, and I'm going to be working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That's exciting. There's something about baby business stage. It's like you're nervous, but you're excited, and there's just so much opportunity on the horizon. It feels so good, but so nerve-wracking at the same time.
Right, exactly.
So are you originally from the central Minnesota area then?
I'm not. I grew up in Maple Grove, Osseo area, and that's how I got into cycling. I wasn't too far from the Elm Creek Park Reserve, and I biked since I was about 6 years old. I'd bike, and I'd probably do 15, 20 miles a day when I would go out there. It's an 8-mile loop around it's a lot more now, and it's been a long time since I've been there. But that's how I got into cycling, and I've kind of been a lifelong cyclist.
Okay, then how'd you get to central Minnesota from the outskirts of the cities?
College. Of course, I came to St. Cloud State, and I stayed.
You know, you hear that quite a bit. I feel like I went to college with a lot of people who were just kind of there for college. I went down in the cities and they're like, yeah, we're just here and we're going to find somewhere else to live. And that's kind of how that migration pattern worked. But I feel like people who go to St. Cloud State, go to St. Ben's, go to St. John's, they all kind of tend to stick around the area.
Yeah, it's a nice area. I think I'm a country boy at heart. I keep moving farther west. I tell my wife that I'll probably retire in Wyoming or something.
Yeah, that is such a cool place. You're going to have to build up some endurance to be biking out in Wyoming, though, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
That's so cool. So looking ahead, how far out can people place their rentals? Like if they know they're going to be in the area the second week of June, can they start kind of making those reservations?
They can, yeah. So that's the way the system works. You can, just pick the calendar date that you're going to be in town or something, or you've got a special event that you've got planned. Save the date. Get it booked. Right now, only having 6 bikes, the sooner you do it, the better.
Yes, for sure. And then if people are interested in wanting to purchase a bike, what's kind of the timeline looking like for you working on that project?
That's going to be kind of just see how it goes. If someone really loves having the bike, I can make arrangements to get a bike for them.
Okay, very cool. That's exciting. Where can people go to follow you? Give me all your social media, your website, all that good stuff.
Just starting to ramp up, but I am on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, online at LakeWobegonOutfitters.com.
Perfect. And then one last question. If someone were like to be totally new to the area, no idea what to do, but they want to use your service, you're starting in Avon, what direction would you send them?
I guess it would be, to west. Go west to Albany and then go up to Holding Ford. There's, Art Motion is in Holding Ford. It's a great place to have a light lunch and, see the great artwork. And that's one of the best parts of the trail in that area, Albany to Holding Ford. And of course, the covered bridge too. So
the covered bridge, and then also the oldest piece of petrified wood is not far from the bridge in Holding Ford.
Really?
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing ever because it's just so quirky and random. When I went and saw the covered bridge for the first time, I was just kind of bopping around the area, and like a few blocks down, they had like this, it looked like a rock. And I'm like, what the heck is that thing? And there's like a plaque on it. It's like Minnesota's oldest piece of petrified wood.
Oh, I must have missed it.
If you don't know what you're looking for, it just looks like a rock. So definitely worth checking out, though, just because it's so random and so wacky and just so central Minnesota.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Wayne, this has been delightful. I'm so excited to follow your journey with this being brand new and see where it goes. I think this is going to be a really busy summer for you, and I hope that it just takes off like a rocket.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast. Like I said in the intro, their official opening day is April 20th. So start making those reservations to take advantage of those awesome e-bikes and paddleboards this summer in central Minnesota. All the information to do that is in the show notes below. Please leave a rating and review of this podcast. It really helps us out in the algorithm, means the world to me. Thank you for listening. If you're looking for more content, you can always check me out at The Small Town Tourist on Instagram and thesmalltowntourist.com. I'll catch you next week.